Hey guys, as I stated before, I'll only talk about some episodes of Kyuuranger that has new characters in it, or the ones that pique my interest. Seeing how the second episode introduced Naga, Ray, and Balance, and the third episode introduced Stinger, that's what I'm going to talk about. After their first success with fighting the villains, we learn what the dark matter are in an organized chart. We have combatants, governors, retainers, and at last we have the main villain Don Armage, or Don Armage, who we still don't know anything about him. After that, the Kyurangers start looking for the last 4 remaining Kyurangers, even though we already know that Raptor 283 will be part of the team. They go to planet Jigama and they find another robot named Balance and another human named Naga Ray. These guys are the best thieves and both of them are looking for treasures. Lucky, being the luckiest guy he is, he joins them, later on gets betrayed by Balance. Naga starts getting mad. Balance figures out what's good and what's bad. They have their own Q-Tamas, they join the team, and the Kyurangers fight off the villains. In episode 3, they start to learn that dark matter are using giant towers that suck up energy from each planet that are known as planesiums, which maintains planets, and if they are completely removed from all of the planets, they will explode and turn into stardust. After fighting another planet called Planet Needle, a random guy with a scorpion tail named Stinger shows up and fights the Kyurangers, while Champ seems to know who he is, and Stinger is apparently responsible for something that he did a few years ago. The rest of the episode is the same. Find the towers, fight the villains, destroy them, and save the planet. So far, we get to know some of the backstories on one of the characters, mainly Champ. We'll get to him later once I talk about Stinger. The action is still fun and cool, and the comedy is still funny and weird. Let's talk about the characters that we get to see. Balance is a robot who can control and manipulate technology, and is a thief. Naga is an emotional human being who is trying to learn emotions, which he claims as his treasure to find. The reason why him and his people gave up emotions is to avoid fighting. Think of Naga Ray as Spock from Star Trek. When he does start feeling new emotions, it's really nice and great to see him emote with those feelings, even though he needs to work with those emotions. He really has a nice ability where he can control people for a short period of time while Balance can shock them. That's very nice and makes him interesting. We get to see the commander, Sho Lunpo. At first I thought he was going to be a serious mentor like Doggy Kruger and Decker Ranger, but he isn't. Instead, he's a humorous mentor while still being serious at the same time. We already know that he will become real commander later on in the show. Whenever he thinks of something irrelevant to a situation, Raptor really loses her cool and it's pretty hilarious. At last, we talk about Stinger. We don't know much about him. All we know is that he already has a Q-Tama and his own Seiza blaster. I kinda like him. He's a tough fighter and really badass. I'm getting a anti-hero vibe from him. With that in mind, he could have a fun battle with another anti-hero, Naoto or Time Fire from Time Ranger. After he transforms, we see Champ charge ahead, attack Stinger, and tells the Kyurangers to not join him on his fight. We learn that Champ was created by a scientist named Dr. Anton, and he taught Champ to have a human heart, which is very interesting. Meanwhile, after Champ won a fighting round, he sees Stinger attacking Anton and Champ tries to attack him. Stinger is quick and agile and stings him back. At his last words, Anton tells Champ that the galaxy is in his hands and he dies. So Champ has his own Q-Tama, joins the rebellion, and vows to avenge Anton. Lucky reminds him that he's a Kyuranger and that no evil person could obtain a Q-Tama and a Seiza blaster, which brings a good point. Why does Stinger already have his Q-Tama and his own Seiza blaster? Did someone give it to him or did he steal it? Why did he kill Anton? Did someone tell him to do it? Or was he protecting someone? We got a long way to go before we can get some answers. The costumes on the new characters that I mentioned are nice and unique. Sho Lunpo looks big, cool, and fierce, despite his comedic attitude. Tenbin Gold's suit is mechanical and looks like armor, obviously because he's a robot. Hibitsukai Silver's suit has a snakeskin pattern on the sides. Sasori Orange has his stinger tail sticking out. Once again, I love how they made the suits different in terms of style and details. The new Voyagers we have is Hibitsukai Voyager and Tenbin Voyager, which are both humanoid robots and they are awesome. When they become arms for Q-Reno, their attacks are cool and kick-ass, especially Hibitsukai Voyager. Sasori Voyager looks good and really neat. Overall, we got some nice interesting characters and a good backstory on Champ. I can't wait to see more of Stinger's backstory and how he ends up joining the Kyurangers. Now I have to wait for Raptor to become Washi Pink and give my thoughts on that episode, which is probably going to be funny since it's Raptor becoming a Kyuranger. We'll just have to wait and see once the subtitles come out. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will catch you later.